What's going on?
My back. Oh, my back.
The most bizarre and brutal series of crimes in America.
Sally, I hear something. Stop. Stop.
This is the movie that is just as real. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Come on, Doctor! You've got this! You can beat this game!
Nani? Kakurangerが
トンネルで子供に見られたようです。
わかった。
Remember to click like, subscribe, the bell notification, and whatever else YouTube has you clicking on to support us.
Kakuranger, ninja.
Welcome to another glorious Halloween month. I am the Kajino Kami from the Toku Animation News Network, and today I'm kicking this month of festivities off with Ninja Sentai Kakuranger. The concept for Ninja Sentai Kakuranger originated from the Japanese word kakure, meaning hiding. The series' initial vision was shaped by Noboru Sugimura, who returned as head writer and set aside his passion for video games to craft a show inspired by elements of Journey to the West. Kakuranger marked the first time a Sentai series centered on ninjas as its main theme and made history by featuring a female ranger as the team's leader. Japanese street fashion played a significant role in the Kakuranger's wardrobe, while the monsters, yokai, were uniquely designed to reflect modern society. The action sequences drew influence from American comics, with Toei producer Takayuki Suzuki aiming to create an unconventional take on ninja heroes. The series was structured into two major arcs. The first focused on the female ranger rallying her unmotivated teammates in a comedic tone, while the second shifted to a more serious narrative, highlighting the team's growth and sense of purpose. The first half also featured a Rakugo-style narrator, a traditional Japanese storyteller who performs while seated. Real-life Rakugoka Enjo Sayutai was cast in this role, both to educate viewers about the Kakuranger's world and to provide historical context for each yokai as they appeared.
妖怪土雲とは昔から山奥に住み旅人を雲の糸で絡め取り食べてしまうというまあ恐ろしい妖怪であります。
Kakuranger has some big shoes to fill after coming off of Dairanger. Does it succeed? Watch to find out. The heroes. The Kakurangers are descendants of ninjas who fought the yokai over a multitude of generations. The last time the yokai were a prominent threat was during the Sengoku period, which saw the Kakurangers of then sacrificing themselves to lock the yokai in an interdimensional cave.
妖気の力を永遠に閉じ込めよう。
Those who were left behind lost their spirits, becoming a ghost of their former selves. Then, in 1994, two reckless, unambitious men are tricked into unsealing the yokai, restoring their powers to them while also freeing those who were trapped on the other side of the sealed door. This duo come to learn they are the descendants of the previous Kakurangers, and it is now their mission to stop the yokai threat from conquering the world. The first of the duo is Sasuke. We don't really learn much about Sasuke's life before the show begins, but he is definitely the kind of person that loved to take the easy path in life and be as lazy as possible. Early on, he will clash with his teammates when he doesn't want to do something. One episode showed him refusing to enter a police station where one of the Kakurangers was being held prisoner. However, when things go awry, he will set aside his selfishness to do what is right.
俺だ。
サスケなのに早く縄を解いてくれ。
As the series progresses, he becomes the second in command of the Kakurangers, even giving orders when their leader is absent or unfocused. There's several occasions where he is left on his own, having to devise a plot on the fly to rescue his cohorts or save those in need. Sasuke has some of the deepest character development ever compared to other Red Rangers throughout the franchise, making him one of the best of all time.
みんな、もう少し我慢してくれ。
Those who have watched Gingaman should recognize actor Teruyaki Gogawa, for he was Black Knight Hyuga, on top of also being the motion capture actor for Leon in the original Resident Evil 4. Lastly, Sasuke is based on Son Goku from Journey to the West, hence his motif is a monkey. Sasuke's partner in laziness is Saizou, based on Sha Wujing. Saizou is a massive warrior who lives life on the negative lane. He always thinks about the worst outcomes of every situation, which can often make him seem like a coward. He's also quite arrogant, always believing he is the smartest person in the room and loves to boast. There is one episode where he buys a car to compensate for his deficiencies, something that is immediately destroyed by a yokai. He does tend to be the one who befriends children the quickest, which happens quite often, be it when he is trapped in a maze with a kid, encourages a wannabe photographer,
本当のカメラマンになるためには命がけで撮らなければならない時があるんだ。君なら撮れる自信を持つんだ。
and comforts a girl who loses her face.
ルペホームに顔を撮られて漫画の顔になりたいなんて私バカだった。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
Saizou's actor, Hiroshi Sachida, has been a prominent voice actor, voicing a multitude of characters across toku, anime, and video games, such as being Grisha Yeager in Attack on Titan, Kira in Black Clover, Fang Wei in Tekken, Kazuki in the Yakuza franchise, and Hane 2 in Ultraman Decker. Next up is the one who brings the team together, 15-year-old Satomi Hirose Tsuruhime. Tsuruhime is the leader of the Kakurangers, coming from a rich family who has guarded the sealed door for generations. When she was younger, her father and two adopted twins that raised her like brothers disappeared, leaving her in the care of a drunken monk named Oichi Sandayu.
そもそも鶴姫家の家系は今を去ること400年前戦国大名として名を起こし、それ以来代々隠れんジャーのリーダーとして活躍してきた。それが志半ばにして病に倒れない。
わかってる。
She strengthened her resolve to take on the yokai threat if they were to ever escape, which clearly does happen. It is thanks to her that Sasuke and Saizou survive their first encounter, and together, the three of them become the Kakurangers. Tsuruhime can sometimes be too demanding, often not considering the feelings of her teammates when she scolds them for their inadequacies.
化け猫にしびれ薬飲まされるなんてほんとんだらしないんだから。 少しは私とサスケを見習いなさいよね。
Nevertheless, she finds true friendship with her mates and enjoys celebrating her 16th birthday with them when the time comes. It is also revealed that she was part of a superhero trio in school uniforms called the Punishment Sisters before becoming a Kakuranger.
子供たちを操り、妖怪の手先にしようとしたその罪、許しがたい。天に代わってお仕置きよ。
One of Tsuruhime's best moments is in an episode where her leadership skills are being tested through the use of Kakuranger clones. Learning to treat the clones is the real thing in the process.
いやよ三太夫。頼りないって言われてもいい。甘いって言われても。でもこの人たちを見捨てることなんて私には絶対できない。
I do want to mention that the twins are named Taro and Jiro. Taro and Jiro. Those names sound familiar. I just can't place my finger on where.
桃から生まれたドン桃太郎筋骨隆々ドンドラゴキドントラボルト
It is also worth noting they are played by Daisuke and Keisuke Tsuchiya, a beef fighter in Dairanger fame.
もともとは殿の家来の息子だったが、早くに両親に死なれ、鶴姫と兄弟同様に育てられた双子の兄弟なんよ。
Meanwhile, Takayuki Godai portrayed Tsuruhime's dad. Godai made his Sentai debut as the second Vol Ego in Sun Vulcan.
いや
しい子だ。The fourth member of the team, based on the gluttonous pig monk, Zhu Baiji, is Seikai.
Ninja Yellow, Seikai!
Like Baiji, Seikai loves to chow down on food at any moment's notice, even if it means skipping out on training to do such.
俺はね、妖怪と戦うのにこんな下からじゃいけない。どんどん食べて大きくなって敵をドカーンとやっつけて鶴姫に喜んでもらおうと。
When we first meet Seikai, he spends his days with a friend at an arcade and cares for nothing else in life. He's even berated by his ancestor for his lifestyle, who gives him some important words of wisdom.
インスタントばっかり食うなよ。米食え。
はい。
この位置には用心。性格直せよ。
Seikai is probably my least favorite member of the team, and his personality can often blend together with Saizou to the point where one could often mix the two up. Comparing him to Saizou is actually quite fitting, because Shu Kawai said when he auditioned for the show, he was told he would be Ninja Blue, only to find himself Ninja Yellow at the start of filming. Kawai himself even said that made his acting quite rough at the start because his mind was set on being Saizou. He also apparently passed out during the filming of an episode in the second half of the series that saw both he and Saizou turning into Kappa due to the hot sun and excessive makeup they were required to wear. Seikai is the most underdeveloped of the team, though he does have his moments. He's very girl crazy, constantly trying to impress women to get a girlfriend since he is always being turned down by Tsuruhime.
私もお友達になりたいわ。
本当？
でも私海外へボランティアに行くことが決まって、せっかくお友達になれたのに残念だわ。
He does gain her respect, however, as in one episode he was being manipulated into eating non-stop by a yokai, and she risked her life by turning herself into a burger to entice him not to eat.
忍法鶴姫バーガー。早く食え。俺は軟弱だけど、ここ一番には強いんだ。
The final Kakuranger and my favorite ranger of all time is Jiraiya.
Ninja Black, Jiraiya.
Played by the amazing King Kasugi. Jiraiya's father was an LA cop who was killed by a yokai when he was a child, and he has trained to hunt yokai down ever since. He makes his way to Japan, chasing after a yokai that took on the guise of a cop. When he first arrives, he wears a cowboy getup because of course anyone from America must dress like a cowboy. At least unlike another American ninja cowboy, he's competent.
おお、何者だ。
American Ninja.
He also doesn't speak any Japanese at first, which really adds to his character.
Everyone, the squirrel's over there. 何言ってんだ。日本語で、日本語で。Over there.
He personifies that fish out of water story and really makes it work. He is so enamored by Japanese culture that he even starts to mimic television shows, performing stunts from them as if he were actually in the show. It does lead to some pretty funny results and totally fits his American persona. I'm not saying Americans are highly influenced by what they watch on TV, but sometimes they're highly influenced by what they watch on TV.
黙れ。三寸の川で鬼たちがお出迎えだ。
His backstory really hits tragedy as he learns the truth behind his father's murder through his former master Gali, who was appropriately played by Kane's own father, Sho.
これを私だと思って持っていけ。どんなに遠く離れていても、お前の持っているその意志と、私の持っているこの意志がある限り。
Like his father, Kane would become an international star, appearing in various films like Dead or Alive as Ryu Hayabusa, Godzilla Final Wars, Ultraman in The Ultimate Hero, Kazuya Mishima in Tekken 2 Kazuya's Revenge, and one of the movie exclusive riders in Kamen Rider Revice's summer movie. The Kakurangers use a badge-like device called the Doran Changers to transform, Their suits are pretty basic with black and white stripes around their gloves and boots and a belt to break up the Ranger colors. The upper chest has a white V-strip to give the suits a gi style with an N-styled logo over their left side. Their helmets have a gold band at the top of the visors with their visors matching the respective symbol shapes. For the most part, they fight using their swords but occasionally put out some additional arsenal that has an interesting design choice. Their holsters house a gun, with half of the gun also acting as a sheath to knives. They're hardly used and I wish they would have actually given some focus to such a unique concept. Everyone also has access to a brass knuckles-esque glove for added strength, along with individualized weapons. They also have two major final attacks to hit the yokai with, one of which is through their motorcycle by launching Sasuke's bike at them. The other is a football attack, harkening back to Go-Ranger.
Saizou! Jiraiya! Sasuke! Kakure shoot!
Sasuke also acquires a specialized sword, which really does nothing, beyond being a piece of merchandise for children to coerce their parents into buying them. While there is no sixth ranger to be had in this series, the Kakurangers are not without their allies. For the first arc, they are mentored by Sandayu, played by Akira Sakamoto. Sandayu keeps his distance away from the team so he can avoid getting in their way, but will intervene when the situation is dire or the Rangers are in need of an exposition dump.
相沢の居場所が分かんなくて困ってるようじゃな。知ってんなら教えてくれ。そんなことわしが知るわけないけんね。手がかりがない時には自分の顔を信じるしかないけん。殴るぞ。
He's a fun character and I do wish more had been done with him. He's assisted by a yokai child named Moon and two German shepherds named Taro and Jiro.
指図通りに動くんよブン。行け。
Taro and Jiro? Those names sound familiar. I just can't place my finger on where.
Taro, Jiro.
In the second half of the series, a sentient robot named Ninja Man returns to Earth after a 1,000-year exile.
あれが忍者マンか。やいバッキー。俺を守ってくれたミツコちゃんをよくも苦しめてくれたな。
Over 1,200 years ago, Ninja Man was deceived into attacking innocent people, leading to his imprisonment inside a bottle and banishment into space. Now free, he allies himself with the Kakurangers to join their battle.
ほら待って。ほら。このいたずら坊主。ほら助けてやって。捕まえた。
Ninja Man is brought to life by renowned voice actor Kazuki Yao, who recently retired from acting. Yao is celebrated for roles such as Judao Ashita in Gundam Double Z, Frankie in One Piece, and Dr. Zet in Akiba Ranger.
情けねえ。俺さえここから出れれば。爆気なんて一撃で倒し、ミツコちゃんを助けることができたのに。あれ？お前体を小さくできんのか？あたぼうよ。俺の体は伸縮自在だぜ。じゃあな。
Ninja Man possesses the ability to grow to giant size, and when angered, transforms into his alter ego, Samurai Man. He also travels atop a cloud modeled after Kinto-un from Journey to the West, further tying his character to the classic folklore.
Ninja Sodo!
Their last ally is Nekomaru, a cat bus they use to travel across the country in. Nekomaru can sometimes fly, which is quite handy. He's also used as the team's crepe shop and can often be lured into a trap using catnip. The villains. You gotta feel bad for the Yokai Army Corps. They're just trying to relax and enjoy day-to-day life in the modern world. There's one who's updated himself from an oxen cart to a taxi cab that has to deal with obnoxious passengers, like a drunk guy who throws up in him. A cop who is just trying to uphold the law.
Garbage day!
A lady who wants to run an arcade and seems to think a gamer is her dead son. A hotel manager who just wants to chop children up and sell their innards to cover her mortgage expenses. There are two poor bums spending their days playing games. Nupe Fuhofu enjoys Face Off.
The face.
Tengu likes to roll with the times and tries to be the yokai's next top model. We've got a lantern who is just trying to enlighten the dead. Is it really his fault the dead take their anger out on society? A striving manga artist two former cohorts of Rihanna Yuki Onna just wants to chill.
6体の雪だるまが揃えば世界は一挙に雪と氷の寒冷地獄に陥るのだ
And a pair of brothers trying to get wasted. And just when they think their lives are at an all-time high, signs and winds come up, and like lightning, the Kakurangers flash by to ruin their fun, making wretched accusations about protecting the people or some crap like that. Seriously though, the yokai are pretty amazing villains as they all have diverse personalities, and some can come across really creepy the way yokai should.
これはいかん急性盲腸炎じゃそれに風もこじらしとるそれだけじゃないぞ水虫に腰痛にリウマチに
These are tried and true yokai compared to whatever that cutesy kitty crap another Ninja Sentai series featured. What I really like is how these yokai are executed. For the first quarter of the series, it seems like they are all operating independently until a being deemed the Prince appears and starts ordering the yokai around.
いいことみんな。我々妖怪は封印の扉が開き、力を取り戻した。今こそ一致団結してカクレンジャーを倒し、妖怪のパラダイスを作んなよ。
This is Prince Jr., also known as Gasha Dokuro, played by the incredible Kenichi Endo.
さあこっちへいらっしゃい。お前を悪い妖怪にしてあげるわ。座敷わらし。ここは一旦引き下がるけど、座敷わらしは必ずいただくから。今回だけは引き分けにしてあげるわか。何？今度会う時までさようなら。
Endo has been seen in the Azumi films, Dairanger movie, Yakuza 4, and Lion Maruji. Junior takes the guise of a punk rocker that comes equipped with his own theme song. His Gasha Dokuro form is equally badass, with half of it being painted with an army camo.
Goodbye, Jiraiya.
He's assisted by a professor called Yugami.
もっと叫べ。わしは子供の泣く声が大好きじゃ。
And the flowery Kunoichi Gumi, an evil team of cats turned human.
花忍者、あやめ、花忍者、桜、水蓮、ゆり、ラン、花の友達組、ただいま現在。
See, now that's what they should have done with cats. Instead of having people in weird cat costumes, they should have just made it a movie about ninjas. Yagami will develop new weapons to help yokai when they grow big, though it often fails.
説明した武器を受け取れ。さすがゆがみ博士の血がする大戦力だ。
The Konichigumi act as an antithesis to the Kakurangers, sometimes even besting them. In the second arc, Junior's father, Daimao, makes a dramatic return to Earth after an absence of over 1,000 years.
今日から人間を全て滅ぼし、この地上に妖怪王国を作るため私に忠誠を尽くすのだ。
我ら妖怪一族がこの世を制圧する時は間近に近づいております。
手短に。
そこで私は人間花火の打ち上げを計画いたしました。
Voiced by the legendary Hidekatsu Shibata, Daimao unleashes a new wave of terror across the world, holding nothing back. I particularly appreciate the moments when Daimao joins forces with the yokai on the battlefield, showcasing his formidable presence.
今こそ私の恐ろしさを見せてやる。バカめ、貴様らに負ける私だと思っているのか。
ダメだ、やられちまう。
やつだけにしてくれるわ。
He also demonstrates the unsettling ability to create a slimy clone of himself.
They call me Ivan.
Besides the flowery Kunoichi Gumi, Daimao's top general is Tsuruhime's father, now known as Hakumenro. While this plotline was previously explored in an episode of Dairanger, it quickly forges its own unique direction, so only the core premise feels familiar. I enjoyed seeing them expand on what is already an epically intriguing concept.
Kakuranger は邪魔になるだけなのだ。地獄へ行け、鶴姫。
To grow big, the yokai download humanity's hate and fear from a cloud server. They can use it at any given time, and there doesn't seem to be any consequences for doing such. The final minions of the yokai army corps are of course the grunts, called Dorodoros. They're basically blue kodamas and get kicked around a lot. I think their best moment was when a Chimera-like yokai named Nue appeared. They were clearly scared of Nue to the point that they started cheering for the Kakurangers in their fight. The Mecha! Sugimura loved his sentient mecha, and the three god generals continue that trend. At the start of the series, we don't know much about Muteki Shogun, the first god general introduced. He seems to be a living, breathing mechanism, just like Daijujin was in Dairanger. It isn't until the end of the first arc that we come to learn more about him and two others, a Falcon-based mech named Tsubasa Maru, and another, made of 5 animals, that merged together to form Kakure Daishogun. It is revealed that the God Generals were a trio of warriors who fought so bravely against the yokai army 2,000 years ago that they were immortalized by the heavens and became sentient beings in the form of machines. And they are the ones that created the Kakurangers' powers, which are made of body, heart, and technique.
世界を率いるのは大魔王、そして人間たちを率いるのは3人の賢人たちだった。しい戦いの末、3人の賢人は新しい技を編み出し、
Muteki Shogun hides in the guise of a castle until he is needed for battle, in which he can separate into 5 humanoid machines the Kakurangers merge with. I find the design of Muteki Shogun to be nicely intricate. He's also intimidating. There are times when a monster will have to jump to try to hit him in the face, and he just stands there taking the blows until he pummels that poor yokai to dust. His finishing weapon is a nice flaming sword with a hilt that matches the friezes on his shoulders. Kakure Daishogun raises the stakes with a more mystical, elaborate aesthetic made up of a gorilla, sort of. Wolf, crane, bear, and toad. I love how Kakure Daishogun contrasts against Muteki Shogun by being sleeker and faster. Muteki is about brute force, while Kakure focuses on speed. Kakure Daishogun is one of my favorite Sentai mechs overall because of this. However, I will admit his finisher is quite lame, as all he does is punch his adversaries. And then we have Tsubasa Maru, who, as I said earlier, is a falcon. do too much on his own, but he can merge together with the two generals. While him adding artillery to Muteki's technique is quite nice, allowing Muteki to have some range attacks, I feel him attaching to the back of Kakure Daishogun to give him the ability to fly to be a much more impressive ordeal. I just wish these super forms were utilized more often and didn't resort to excessive amounts of stock footage, as after their initial appearances, you've pretty much seen all of their appearances outside of a major trilogy of episodes that occurs towards the end of the show. In fact, I'd say the mech battles are the weakest aspect of the show, as you don't realize how many of them are actually just a monster running towards the camera, and then it cuts to either Muteki or Kakure doing their final attack finisher, blowing the monster up, until you're editing this series for a review. They deserved so much better. There are one more set of mechs the Kakurangers acquire a quarter into the series called the Beast General Fighters. They're slimmed down versions of the Muteki Shogun mechs and are pretty much only there for some added merchandise sales. They're ultimately destroyed by Junior, rendering them entirely moot. Although, I'm not exactly sure if they are destroyed, as Red Sarauder is used again very late in the game, but given they disappeared after they had been blasted by Junior, I do believe they were blown to bits. Overall, I do love how the God Generals blend together traditional Japanese elements with apparatuses that would make an anime fan cry on prom night. Sorry, couldn't resist. The effects and music. The effects and music are on par with Dairanger, but let me tell you, Kakuranger may have what may be the greatest Sentai ending theme ever. I don't know why, but Ninja Mantaru Kids is just so goddamn fucking badass. It's catchy, energetic, and weird. It's what every Sentai closing should strive to be. Then again, Tsuchi-chan does a great job with both songs, as even the opening, Secret Kakuranger, is pretty solid too. Make sure you listen to the extended versions to each song, because they each have pieces that are not in the TV cut that really enhance the music. However, there's just something about the ending that really grips me. It is one of those few songs where I am tempted to play every time a show ends despite doing binges. The theme is so good, even a villain plays it during an episode. You have to be wondering what's going through Hakumenro's brain right there. It's that good. The rest of the show's soundtrack, once again composed by Eiji Kawamura, is equally solid. The only negative I really have towards the music is Kawamura did reuse some tracks from both Dairanger and Kamen Rider Black here. There is nothing wrong with it, especially when it's this musical masterpiece. But it is still worth critiquing. Nevertheless, I can't gush over the soundtrack enough.
必殺技を使う妖怪とどうやって戦うっていうの
Now, with the music out of the way, everything I had to say about the effects in Dairanger remains true here. And that makes sense given the show was done pretty much by the same team. As previously noted, Kakuranger incorporates visual sound effects reminiscent of American comics. While this approach can appear silly, mainly due to a campy comic adaptation from the 1960s, it effectively achieves the intended style. However, the text sometimes appears somewhat unrefined. Superimposing scenes are generally solid. The only real area I have to complain about is in its camera work, because it still feels a bit like a downgrade from the likes of Flashman and Changeman. Still, the fight choreography does make up for it. One of my favorite battles is between Saizou and Amakiri, as it's done in front of a nice sunset backdrop. The episodes! As I mentioned earlier, Kakuranger is broken up into 2 story arcs, both of which have their own distinct feel. Actually, it kind of makes me think of Gundam Double Zeta with the way the show is executed. For those unfamiliar with the Gundam franchise, 1987's Zeta Gundam was a very dark and serious show with an ending you would not expect. The follow-up series, Gundam Double Zeta, premiered immediately after Zeta's end, and to counter the balance of how serious Zeta was, Double Zeta started off extremely comedic. That is how the transition from Dairanger to Kakuranger feels to me. Dairanger was such a serious show with an ending that left the audience feeling somber. They intentionally made the early episodes of Kakuranger silly to ease viewers back into a false sense of security before ripping their hearts out. Therefore, we have the Rakugan to break up tense scenes with a comedic moment. More importantly, it works. I also like how the formation of the team is staggered, making it stand out from its predecessors. In the premiere, Sasuke and Saizou just want to enjoy themselves without the care in the world for anything going on around them. They didn't even want to help an injured man until money was offered to them. Then when the crap hits the fan, Tsuruhime shows up, whipping them into shape. The next episode introduces us to Seikai, who also wants to just play video games all day until he is roped into a yokai plot. Now the interesting aspect is Jiraiya, as he was hunting down yokais in America before he came to Japan with the knowledge that he would be a Kakuranger. His plot differs because, as I said, he's a fish out of water archetype. He is now living in unfamiliar territory and knows little to no Japanese at the start. Watching the 4 adapt, becoming the heroes they become, taking their roles as defenders seriously over the course of the first arc, is quite enduring and really sets the unconventional standard Suzuki was looking for. While having the second arc take a more serious turn was a nice change of pace, it's actually the opening chapters to this arc that really sets Kakuranger apart from all other Sentais before and after. At the end of part 1, the Kakurangers go their separate ways. Mostly. The first episode of the arc features Sasuke and only Sasuke, making it the first time we have ever had a Sentai series containing only one hero transforming and fighting the monster in its entirety. It's a team-based show that was practically unheard of at the time. It was as revolutionary as the episode of Dairanger where the Dairangers did not transform at all. The following episode features Tsuruhime, and while Sandayu does have her assisted by fake versions of the other Kakurangers, it's once again a story revolving solely around a single member of the team. What an exciting evolution this was. It is also revealed to us who Tsuruhime was as a person. The third episode does team Saizou and Seikai up, reassessing my belief that they are one character separated into two, but once again, they must overcome the show's plot on their own. And then we have two episodes revolving around Jiraiya, and while Sasuke does play into the plot, with the last act reuniting the team, Jiraiya's character arc is fully defined by this duology. The fact that we had a 5-episode mini arc occur before the team came back together was nothing short of groundbreaking. Like Dairanger, Kakuranger was not afraid to take risks, and it is all the better for it. Choosing a favorite and least favorite is a bit tough because there are a plethora of amazing episodes and only a handful of ones that are weaker than the others. I can't say I downright hate any episode, but I will say there are a couple of episodes I often look forward to the least upon rewatches. This includes the episode where Seikai grows big thanks to the yokai in his stomach, the one where Sasuke has to dress up as a baby to lure the monster out, and the episode that brought the narrator back when he gets to be all pervy. However, I am going to go with the episode that is by far the most boring of the series. Suddenly Poor. Suddenly Poor kicks off with the Kakurangers picking up a hitchhiker. It turns out it is a man who abandoned his family for 5 years because he became in debt and went to the big city to work it off.
今日からまた昔のようにみんなと一緒に暮らすことができるようになったんです。この日をどれだけ待ち望んでいたことか。だよね。
Don't you feel sorry for him? He abandoned his family.
急げ! Hurry up! 分かってるって!
For 5 years. They drop him off at his home just in time for a yokai to appear who makes everyone poor named Bimbo Gambi.
おいしそうね。
Daimao tells everyone in the complex that if they want to be rich again, they must offer their unending loyalty. Now, I won't say there aren't some fun moments to be had, as I did get a kick out of the scenes when Bimbo Gambi reduces the Kakurangers' costumes and gear to rags, specifically this tidbit. Nevertheless, I feel like this episode kind of rehashes 2 episodes found earlier in the series, which saw Kanedama curse families with bad luck, extorting them out of their money, and Shironeo returning people's clothes to rags.
古くなった衣類はさっさと捨てボロにすりゃいいんだ。
何?
お前もおつに済ましていねえで俺のように醜くなれ。
Opposite that is the flowery Konichigumi. This episode sees Sasuke being chased by the Konichigumi while trying to protect the child, being unable to transform or even call for backup.
から妨害電波が出ていて無線は通じんし、ドローンチェンジャーをキャッチする電波も出ておって、どこに隠れようとすぐに見つけ出せるんじゃ。
サスケ、の荷物を背負ったわね。ちょっとでも油断したらお前だけじゃない。その子も死ぬわ。
バカな！何の関係もない子供！
It's an intense episode that is like watching a horror film where a killer stalks its prey. It features some truly outstanding fight choreography, a scene of Sasuke wielding Mateki Shogun's sword while it's on fire, and has no monster of the week. The movies and special. Besides having a theatrical movie and a short 3D gimmick while it was airing, Kakuranger has been blessed with an anniversary special. Or was it a blessing? The theatrical film takes place around episode 10 of the series. It features Totpot and Bookbok, now in the guise of yokai, terrorizing two siblings who are home alone.
Moshi.
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
Apparently, their boss wants their house for his collection and will do whatever he can to get it. The Kakurangers become privy to this and protect the brother and sister from their boss Onyudo, who looks like something Dumbo would have dreamed up. The movie is nothing truly special, but it's kind of fun at times thanks to totally not Totpot and Bookbok.
このうちは呪われている。うちの中に変な人形がありますね。あたりの元はその人形です。一つ目小僧、兄貴だ。一つ目小僧、弟。
Next up is a 10-minute film called Super Sentai World. A bunch of villains attack a couple, one of which is played by Rai's actor, and the Kakurangers appear to save them.
第三の目の秘密、見てしまったようだ。我々の作戦を知ったからには生かしておけん。
忍者ブラック、忍者ブルー、忍者レッド、
忍者ホワイト、
忍者イエロー。
The Kakurangers are assisted by Five-Man, Jetman, Jiraiya, and Dairanger as they all partake in a huge battle in the Great Gravel Pit of Japan.
Dairanger, Jiraiya, Jetman, Five-Man.
It was filmed in 3D, so there are a lot of shots made up close and personal.
Howdy,
I will say some of the camera work is quite good because of this, with quite a few battles occurring in the background you wouldn't normally think about while being mesmerized by the stupid 3D gimmick. There is a funny air that occurs after Tsuruhime launches the kakure ball as it changes color before Sasuke kicks it. Oh, and there's an odd moment of Five Blue standing quite far from the rest of his team. Did he fart? To celebrate Kakuranger's 30th anniversary, Toei released a web-exclusive special set 30 years later, titled Act 3 Middle Age Struggles, signifying it as the third arc to the series. Each one of them has been off on their own adventure since the series ended. Sasuke has helped good yokai fit in with modern society, Tsuruhime runs an orphanage, Seikai became rich and adopted a son named Goro, Saizou is still running the crepe shop inside Nekomaru with minimal success. Jiraiya still protects people as a ninja, although in this thing, he fails at it and gives his best Darth Vader impersonation. Yeah, that was not one of his greatest moments. Tsuruhime summons them all to her because the daily hate plagued on social media has given birth to a new evil yokai menace.
今や SNS が進化したデジタル社会。その進化は人々に新たな悪意や憎しみの感情を生み出させていたのであります。
This includes a new Yuki Onna, played by Kamen Rider Geats' Kokoro Aoshima.
私は新時代妖怪の雪女。ほら、一緒に来ないと。おこだよ。
Kamatachi, who is portrayed by Kamen Rider 01's Ryuma Hashido.
俺は新時代妖怪かまいたちだ。
While Ayane Kunishita from Ultraman Rube is our new Konichi Flowery Gang ninja.
私は新時代妖怪花忍者ガーベラ。新たな妖怪大魔王様に仕えるために生まれた。
Together, they capture Goro, which sets the Kakurangers on a new rescue mission that could be their last. I should also mention that the Rakuko announcer is back, this time portrayed by Hakuzan Kanda.
始めた古美術商で大金持ちになったラッキーな男。
Kenichi Endo briefly returns as Junior.
どうしてお前が五郎の覚醒で目が覚めたの？妖怪大魔王になるのはこの私よ。
Same as Tsuruhime's dad, the twin ninjas, and Ninja Man.
忍者マン。ここは正義の味方、忍者マンに任せろ。
The movie is very entertaining and extremely fun. It really does feel like something Sugimura would have written had he still been alive. I am very impressed. It helps that the humor is still balanced quite well with the drama and that the story doesn't contradict what has happened in the show. Utilizing the hate messages that are typed up on social media to bring back the evil yokai was a smart idea. Social media has become such a toxic platform that anyone and everyone can unintentionally get wrapped up in it regardless of their intentions. And I could totally believe a group of beings who thrive on hate would be able to tap into it. It was so good that I wish it had been longer than 32 minutes because there was a lot that happened in that time frame. There are a couple of outstanding scenes, such as the villains calling our content boomers.
邪魔すんなよ、おっさんおばさん。
老害忍者はここでくたばれ。
Their hilarious transformation sequence.
Guys, Saizou, what's going on? What are you doing? 昔こんなの着て戦ってたの？
And Seikai and Saizou attacking Yuki Onna with elderly judgment.
魂で会話しろ。根性で乗り切れ。怒られても立ち上がれ。すぐに諦めるな。まったく最近の若者は俺たちが熱く導いてやるぜ。
Surprisingly, there are no mech battles despite Muteki Shogun showing up for a cameo. I didn't get to do anything. We still get the badass sound effect text on screen, which has been implemented much smoother than in the past. Fight choreography remains stellar. There are some interesting camera angles.
Black Bull! Red Center!
White Beak!
The new ninja suits the Rangers wear are really striking and aptly fits Jiraiya, given he played Ryu Hayabusa in the Dead or Alive movie. In fact, he looks more like Ryu here than he did in the actual Dead or Alive movie. Takashi Shishimi's score is used for the film, though I'm unsure as to whether they had him re-record his tracks for an updated soundtrack or if they were just reused. Either way, they are very pleasing to the ears, especially these bits.
なんとしても止めないと。でも俺たち全然かなわなかったじゃないの。いや。忍者マン。ここは正義の味方。これが噂の逆なんてやつ。
おっさん、邪魔ぽよ。上等だよ。
こいつらを倒して。
And let us not forget they even managed to flawlessly insert Junior's badass theme into the film. The iconic opening and ending themes are back. With the ending featuring the same dance from the show. The DVD. Shout's DVD was wild. We've got the cover, the spine, the backside, discs and trays, 10 discs, production photos, and episode titles on the reverse side. It's pretty much 1-to-1 compared to Toei's release in Japan. The video quality is not the greatest, but it is currently the best the show has looked at this point in time. Like with Dairanger, I really wish the series would get a nice HD remaster as it deserves it. The audio is fine, though there are a couple of episodes that have a weird muted sound to them.
だが身代金を踏んだくっても人質の子供は返さねえ。ひでえ野郎だ。絶対に許せない。
お姉さん、大変だよ。ちょっと来て。
The translations are an improvement over Dairanger and Jiraiya, even though they're still not perfect.
だがどうしても見つけなくてはならんけん。それもあと一月の間に。大魔王が地上に姿を現す前にな。
I know there is a lot of debate on one specific episode that has a line spoken in English. Many say it's supposed to be "Today is Friday in California," as opposed to Shout's translation saying "Today's a fine day in California."
Today is fine day in California. Huh?
And while I can get where people are coming from, I watched this episode raw many times over before Shout had ever subbed it and always heard fine day.
Today is fine day in California. Fine day. Fine.
However, this could be another purple white dress situation where your ears will tell you whatever you want to hear. Moving forward, the subtitle timing is off quite often as the subs have a habit of appearing half a second earlier than the dialogue is said or vice versa.
なんだそりゃ。迷路から出てきた時、変な男がくれたのよ。ゴー！ピュアゴー！
It's nothing detrimental compared to what happens in the Kakuranger and Gingaman sets, but still needs to be mentioned. Like with Dairanger, neither the movie nor Super Sentai World is included, and there are no bonus features whatsoever. Overall, Kakuranger is nearly a perfect Super Sentai experience. Sugimura and his crew did not pull any punches as they really went down the rabbit hole to try to make this as different as possible. Therefore, I am going to give Ninja Sentai Kakuranger a solid 5 out of 5 grown-ups in spandex. Kakuranger excels in excellence and is a series that should be watched by everyone, Sentai fan or not. If you have not seen this show yet, go out right now and watch it. You will thank me later. Until next time, bye.
Stupid monkey.